Hello?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is the UI UX Meetup anchored by Bincom Dev Center. And today we'll be talking about information visualization, a science or an art. And speaking with us today, we'll have two speakers. The first speaker is Mr. Peter. Sorry, just a moment. First speaker is Obasa Peter. He's a creative director and brand identity designer. He's the CEO of Elafrisk Hub. He's a founder and teacher with over 11 years of experience. Please let's make welcome Mr. Peter. Mr. Peter, you can go ahead now and speak with us.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. As you rightly said, Mr. Peter by name. First of all, I'll say thank you for the opportunity given for showing what we have learned in the past years and so on. So to go straight into the debate which we're doing, the discussion, actually the aspect of design, the visualization is a topic where we bring the science and the art plays a very significant role when it comes to information visualization. Do you get? So I'm trying to let me try to share the screen. So, but as I go by that, when we talk about science, we have to be able to design, bring out or explain what science is. Science is about research. Science is about creating solutions to problems. So when we talk about the art is what is the real visualization, the revealing of what exactly you want people to see, what exactly you want people to appreciate. So when it comes to informations, the world we are, generally people appreciate art no matter what it looks like, and there are levels to the art which is being appreciated. So then the science part of it is where the work is done, where the research is done, whereby we need to understand that we have to research to get a solution. It's just like you have a body of a human being, let's say a beautiful, supposed beautiful lady, and we have her as the skeleton part of her, the skeletal part of her. So that skeletal part, if it's functional, it's difficult for us to appreciate the beauty as a lady, which she's supposed to be, even though she's a lady. But we can just see the skeletal part. So the science is the deals with the functionality, shows more of what has to function. So the art in itself will just be in form of a face to just appreciate or enjoy without having the value of communicating exactly what is supposed to be. So imagine I have a design to communicate, probably an app where I've arranged everything pops up and looking good, and I'm clicking on move, and the whole thing is static. So you see, in that form, though the art has attracted me, but the point is it has not found its way to create solution to whatever I want to get out of it. So in that sense, the technology, the science has to go by enough research, because design itself is about creating solution. Design is creating solution, and we find a problem. If we are not solving the solution, then creativity or design has not found its way to be to thrive in whatever we are doing. So for a scientist or anyone that goes through the science part of it, first thing what you are thinking is how do I make people appreciate this? How do I make people see, enjoy the feel of whatever I'm going through? So UI UX has been a very good advantage where you have the experience, that's the interface and the experience. This experience helps one to appreciate the move of whatever you are operating. So, which is the art in the design, which it is very, very important because you find out that, let me take for instance, you see NTA, I'm sure we are used to NTA TV station, which the national TV station, which we have there, compared to some channels on DSTV. Do you get? You get to see the difference, though they might be communicating the same thing in one way or the other, but you find out that you appreciate some things more on the DSTV channel rather than the the NTA channel, because appreciating the art is very vital. And looking at the age we are now, coming out with any form of interface that is not attractive might show to a brand that it has less value, even though it has enough content. So as much as we put in the science, which is continuous research on how to harness whatever we are doing to create solution to any industry that needs the service of visualizing information as good as possible, the art is an integral part of the body of art of communicating in front, or for people to visualize as good as possible. So one thing which I would love to also note is the mistake sometimes we make is where we try to focus on the art more than the science. And this is going in line with our the kind of probably app or whatever solution we are trying to create in that sense. Looking at the fact that as much as people appreciate art, people want to see a free way of relating with whatever information we are passing, especially when information are looking so voluminous. Do you get? When information begin to look so voluminous, it's very difficult for people to probably find it easy to relate with. So I'm scrolling through the slides. Also, the term information visualization comes from information technology. It includes all concepts of methods and tools that are used to visually prepare large amounts of data for users. This makes it easier for users to use large amounts of data and information for their respective tasks. So as I've been saying, sometimes if you get to probably a website or a company passing out an information, except there's a target or a need to scroll through, once the content begin to take over the space and there's no experience that drives you to flow along with, you'll find out that you'll find it less attractive, and it won't be easy for you to just get along with, rather than a space where you come, the user experience gets you attracted, everything seems poppy, sophisticated. You get, by then you will appreciate the value of the art, and also is going to the functionality will not be out of place. So you are attracted, you are glued to scroll through the content as much as possible. So in my opinion, we are different kind of humans. There are people that they relate more with images. Do you get? They relate more with images. They relate more with visuals. So when you begin to bother them with more of content, you see, it creates this tiring experience. Do you get? So as anyone in the ICT industry, if you find out that your strength is on the art, as much as that is your strength, it takes you to either partner with one who has the science, the technology influence that understands what drives in. Either you partner if you can't stretch yourself to get more involved. Do you get? So when you partner, you have a glimpse of how well you make your art more appealing, rather than just create something out of space that doesn't attract. Do you get? So when you partner in such way, you build your strength together, knowing that what you get from this person, it will help you to, it's just like a graphic designer that just want to build a website. Now, as much as you can just arrange everything that has to do with website, do you understand the science behind it? What makes the website work? Is it the coding? Is it the WordPress? How you get to work on those stuffs together? Do you get? So in that line, you see, you will just be caught up with disappointing yourself once it comes to. So there's always need for partnership. And if we look at it for a few years now, not even few years past, it has been very important. Partnership has been a very important aspect of this ICT. When we look at during the COVID, it became more factual, more very needed to partner in any field once it comes to ICT, because it helps both your brand, it helps your business, it helps your scope. Do you get? So it helps the scope to learn fast, because I will not be studying the same thing you are studying, or I will not be attracted to the same thing you are attracted to. So, but when I'm able to meet you, I see how you use your influence, your gifts, how you are building on it, the other materials you've got. I will also build on whatever I have. So if I have 80% of graphic communication skills, and I find out that you have the experience of harnessing and creating solutions beyond the art, it is going to flow in line. So, and when we talk about the art, as I said earlier, we have to understand the principles of design, the principles and the elements of designs, which helps to communicate the art aspect of it as good as possible. And this comes with your alignment, your arrangement, your space, your fonts, your texture, and things like that. All these things sums up to bring out the beauty of your information. It sums up to bring out the beauty of information. And one of the critical parts, which is very important, we also notice, as much as a content is given by a client, one of the aspects which is a very, let me say, is burdensome though, but that is where your professionality comes on, to see how you can use a little out of the information you are giving or the content you are giving, to see how you can pass the information needed with a little information. That is, you don't just flow with content. As I've said earlier, it's just that I have a flyer. As much as the informations are much, once the content, the writings begins to occupy the whole space, there's a way it chokes the beauty and the heart to put in place. You will just have to be working with typography and art and so on like that in order to just, but you help yourself well when you try to come up with creating a solution to use a very little content, but use your art to push the idea for people to get. So with that, you attract more people and they find it easy to relate with whatever you are sending. So that aspect is one of the areas where our solution always has to come from, as much as we deal with the art of the business. So, and as I said, those that work on the part of the science is something we don't neglect, because without the science, the art will just be relative. You need to just start explaining things. It will take people just beauty. So art can be anything. It's just the mind of any artist or any creative being. But the functionality, the way it is being used, the way it is bringing out the solution that is needed, is the main science of it. So bringing it all together is the information visualization will have to need both the science and both the art. Let me go through one of the slides. I hope you can see the slides.
Yes, sir, we can see it, but then it seems your camera is turned off.
You said?
I think your camera is turned off. You can't see your face, sir.
Okay, really? Okay, I'm connected with. Let me see. Yeah, I'm connected with. Can you see my face through the other?
You can see your face now, sir.
Yeah, okay.
I can see it now.
Yeah, so it says when it comes to improving the user experience on your website and in your marketing efforts, information visualization is one of the best elements you can add. Information visualization are so effective. 74% of social media marketers add visuals to their social media posts. There are many places and ways to use. So as I've been saying earlier, let's say take Instagram for instance. We communicate more. You probably know how you want to come up with content where you don't find a way to make it very attractive, interesting, where something draws the attention of people, because people are moved faster with images. Images, there's a way it sinks into the head. So thank God for technology. Thank God for this science, because when we look at graphics, and it has to be in the 70s, in the 80s, how it was difficult to communicate. Do you get? The technologies we have these days is so very wonderful that it's just a blessing from God, because what it takes to develop a graphic design, what it takes to develop a flyer then that makes sense. Because even if we look at, I think, I don't know, some of us should be conversant with the Good News Bible. You will notice the way they use lines to communicate. Just lines to draw out people. They can create a scene with just lines. Do you get? So it grew then on, I think, the Egypt history, where they draw on stones to communicate stuffs. So gradually, those stuffs grew. So we having access to CorelDRAW, having access to Photoshop, having access to materials online. So, but if we look at it clearly, we'll see that the science has helped the way these things are being brought, but the appreciation cannot be left out when it comes to the art, the communication of the mind. So it feels, even to a child, to art, visuals, pictures, communicates and registers in the mind. So there's a way we get to an interface. We easily click on a particular button that drives us to one place or the other. We click on one other button, we move, we read little content. But when we want to drive into information, we get through to more of the content. So let me go through these slides. Organizing information, how to organize the information. Said the first step in the information visualization process is the establishment of the information needs of the target user. So it matters who exactly is using the information to get the audience which we are sending it to. So these people, they are the ones we put in consideration. You get so because if I want to relate with young ones, there's a way I need to put together my information to get their attention. You get if I want to get across to more of the old generation, there's a way I want to communicate with them. So finding the solution for them to get acquainted with is one of the goals of whoever is passing the information, so, which can be used to determine the most effective approach for information organization. The process of organizing visual information is fairly linear and consistent. So, firstly, define the problem, define the data to be presented, define the dimensions required to represent the data, define the interaction required from the visualization. You get so and so on. So whatever solution we are creating, it tells how we want to put all these things into consideration, how we want to use the art. Though there are some information we pass which has to do with more of the content, the write-ups, where if you are bringing in the more of the design, more of the art, it's going to choke whatever you are doing. So you will need to clearly identify how these informations will be well passed, how you want them, the perception. So the interface shows the perception of whoever is into the business, whoever is getting the information. It really matters. So, and that is where the art has to be really kept into consideration. So learning all the principles of design as said earlier is very important, very, very important, because we find out that most of designers, thank God for informations we can find on Instagram very easily, where we get to research, where we get to use stuff, but communicating to clients when it comes to dealing with professionals, there's a way we communicate that speaks of the value we are adding to either the company or whoever is receiving the information. Let's look at something like this particular slide I am. We can see how congested the whole information looks. You get this information will make sense, but going the extra miles to zoom up some basic areas in order for anyone who is clicking on it to appreciate the interface. Imagine it was without colors. Do you get? Imagine it was without those shapes. And these are the elements of designs where you use to catch attentions, the use of colors, the use of shapes, the use of lines, the use of textures, the use of space. Do you get? All these things come together to make one appreciate whatever information is being passed to whoever. So look, for instance, look at this interface. When we look at this interface, one of the things that we have to see, it's attractive to anyone who is design oriented in such a way. But there are some basic elements that is making this visual very for us to appreciate it, which is the use of shadow, the use of lighting, the use of the color gradients, several colors, the font hierarchy, the texture. Do you get? So all these things are the elements that gives the art, makes it more appreciated, because this shadow is helping us to see the depth of each element that we are seeing, each dialogue box we are seeing. So it pops out enough, it flows. So if it's on the experience, probably the orange box can move, prompting you to click. There's probably a lighting effect, a light, and so on. So all these stops, they are as much as the science behind them is good, that it relates to whoever is using them, and people have been appreciating good designs, and that is why we find our way to even earn from whatever we are doing when it comes to the art of visualizing informations and so on. So I don't know if I've been able to, I believe I've been able to pass the information when as regards the visuals, the science of the whole system when it comes to ICT and bringing out information to clients or individuals that needs to receive whatever we are doing. Thank you. Sorry, are you there?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for that presentation. I believe those here have learned a thing or two from that. But then we'll take questions after the both presenters have made their presentations. So at this point, we would welcome the second speaker, Peter Mccann. He is a graphics design artist at Bincom Dev Center. Peter, you have the floor now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, I just wanted to say, you are doing well. You are doing well.
You're doing well. You're doing well. We can hear you.
Yeah, the only one that is talking. Okay, when we are talking about information visualization, and I believe everybody here just have one or two things to sell for people to patronize you. In other words, you have something, you have an idea which you're trying to put together for people to seek for you, find you, so that they can make use of your idea and turn it to something productive for them. If you're trying to visualize something for people, is it that you make it physical, or is it that you make it on air, and people will find it very valuable and buy the idea. I'll actually have a slide to share with us, which I was able to explain some little things about visual information visualization, a science, or an art. Upcoming, trying to share my screen. So I can't share my screen. What happened? Okay, you're still sharing the screen. Can you stop sharing the screen?
Okay, Mr. Peter, kindly stop sharing so that the other Peter can share his screen.
Okay, like I said, we all have one or two things to sell, and is either we give a better idea for people to buy, or we do it in a awkward word, and people are not buying it. So if you are selling an idea, you have to be ready. You have to know what it takes to give it out for people to buy. It doesn't take any logic You just have to make use of the idea, and people will buy. Firstly, once again, my name is Peter Filatei. People do call me as Mccann. Um, I'll be talking about information visualization, a science or an art, which quickly says here in information visualization method and techniques, state of the art and future directions. Mostly, we're just trying to find one way or the other in order to sell ourselves hard for people to buy us, no matter what you do or how you do them. So it depends on how creative, how effective, how tactic you are. Then that gives you an edge to those competitors out there or whoever is selling the same product that you are selling. It depends on how you are being creative to give it out to people. Visualization, which explore techniques for conveying information in a meaningful way to allow users to make sense of data. Users doesn't have to look for you before they get you. What they just have to do is they need to know your brand, they need to know how you put things together, they need to know your color, they need to know your logo, they need to know how you try to bring them close to you. So that's where users will be able to get to you. It also discuss some of the key visualization design challenges and outline a conceptual framework for future research direction in information visualization. So what you do now makes sense tomorrow, because how you visualize your product, how you visualize yourself. You see, most of our marketers, most of our companies, when it comes to an advert, they try to make use of their self. There was a topic which I spoke about, which was copy in branding. There's a way people match their copies. There's a way people see people's copy and match it to their own, and it becomes something unique. People begin to say, wow, this is nice. I saw something like this from these people, and I saw something else from these people. It's almost the same thing, but they have different concepts. Depends on how you are bringing it out. It will lead to a future research direction in information visualization. Secondly, I'm trying to introduce us to how we keep our data. Okay, because if you are okay, maybe if you have a brand, you have your products, you have whatever it takes to have a company. You need to learn how to keep the data. You need to learn how to keep records for better information to be kept, so that when people are looking for you, it's easy for them, and when they're trying to track you, it will be easy for them to get you. Data is an abstraction of the real world, yet making sense of data, especially big data, becomes increasingly more difficult due to overgrowing shared value of data collected for a vast varieties of search, such as high-speed internet for processing hardware, ubiquitous sensors, mobile device, and Internet of Things. So there's a way we all have a way, all have a way how we keep our data and how we keep our information for people to give a reference. So it depends on how if you are a mobile app developer, there's a way you keep your data. If you are a website developer, there's a way you keep your website and people will still get to know you. It depends on whatever we do. If you're a marketer, there's a way we work with our chat, what's it called? All our chat, all our map, all our graphs. There's a way we keep them for people to be able to find it easily to get us. And also, okay, how do we tell a story? Because if you're not being detailed, if you're not being consistent in what you do, you might find yourself logged out of the market. Okay, the other important consideration when thinking about graph design in the actual how you will tell your story, including what design elements you will use and what data you will display. So you need to get yourself equipped properly so that people will find it more easy to reach you. It doesn't have to be too hard. It doesn't have to be too complex. You just have to make sure that you are being expressiveness, you are being effectiveness. so people able to easy to get connected to you. Okay, I actually talked about expressiveness. A set of facts is expressible in a visual language. If the sentence in the language express all the facts in the set of data and only the facts in the data, so nothing more. Just keep to a language where people will be able to understand you. You don't have to be too harsh on whatever you are bringing out. You don't have to be too dramatic. Just bring out something. Either you are taking it to a design, or you are taking it to a chart, or you are taking it to a graph. Just have to make sure that you are bringing something so that people will understand easily, because people are ready to buy you. Okay, the effectiveness. A visualization is more effective than another visualization if the information conveyed by one visualization is more readily perceived than the information in the other visualization. We have two brands, and many people are trying to sell. Many people are trying to sell a brand, or many people are trying to sell the same brand. So it depends on how you are being effective to your brand. It depends on how you are being expressive to your brand. That is how people will be able to get to you. Normally, you don't have to copy all of the content someone has and make it yours. You can see somebody's content and decide to make use of. Just borrow part of the content and be very creative in it. That was why I said be expressive and be effective. Um, Data visualization is a language of decision making. So you have to get yourself ready if you're trying to bring your data for people to see. If you're trying to bring up your brand, you have to make sure that this decision you are making will be the final, because you cannot be changing it, or you cannot be changing it always. Whatever you are showing now, you have to be very ready to do that as once and for all. It was what okay, that was where we were working on our brand manual at Bincom, and I could remember, and we were just being detailed about this is what has to be here, this has to be here, this one has to be here. By the time people come into the company, they might want to work see the brand manual. Once they see that it's been detailed, it's a proper decision made. So they will not have any problem with it. Although we've seen people who were complaining about people's brands, but it depends on how they are showing it for people to see. Okay, good chart effective convey information. Good chart enable information. So if you are making your chart, keep it, pile it up in a way that it looks presentable. You need to make it to be a good information to people. It doesn't have to just be any information. You have to make sure information properly prepared so that people will buy. You need to improve your decision making properly. If you are setting a logo, if you are setting, okay, let's say a booker, if you are setting a booker, you need to make sure that, okay, what are you selling? Are you selling a bolly? Are you selling suya? Are you selling food like a rice? Okay, are you building your shop? Are you building like a spot? Are you having a restaurant? Okay, are you just having a local booker, a local joint where you can sell for local people, or you are selling locally and you are still reaching to international people at the same time? So it depends on how you are making your decision. Your improvement will decide. That was from Bente Vitagilo. Okay, your data, your design, your stories, and your shareability, it matters. The way you are sharing it is actually the key point. Nothing more than you are putting your things together for people to understand you perfectly. It doesn't have to be too perfect, but it can perfect what you are doing in the way you are putting the data and the design, the story, and how you are sharing it to people. Okay, I have an infographic here that's talking about information, infograph, and data visualization. If you can see this very well, we're just looking at what's the versus between both of them, the infographs and the data visualization. Okay, a proper infograph and a proper data visualization are terms used to describe the visual presentation of information and data. It's simple term. A simple term, they make information easier for user to digest, presenting information in a concise visual way. So if you are working on a brand, if you are working on a data, if you are working on an information, you need to make sure that you keep to a way that is visible. You need to keep to a way that is presentable. You need to keep to a way that is consistent, so that you don't have to change from here to the other. Keep to one so that people will get to know your brand properly. Okay. Here we look at the core difference between infographics and data visualization. Okay. Number one, which says, okay, for infographic, we have the objectives. You have the objective for data too. Yeah. Then two, secondly, we talked about the provide a viewpoint. Then thirdly, for data visualization, it's about delivery information. For infographic, you have visualize a narrative. You have illustrative about data. So if you have to be objective when it comes to you keeping information. You have to be very more detailed about what you are trying to figure out. That's the objective. Have to have one goal. The objective just have to have one mission. You have to provide your viewpoints. How are you setting up for people to catch up with your information? How people to catch up with your data? You don't have to run from there to the other place. You just have to be very how do I put this? You have to be very okay. Let me just. They just have to know that okay, this is what they are going for, and they are getting it at all points. How you narrate your information, how you narrate your brand, how you put it for people to understand, how you setting up your tables for people to know, oh, this table is for this person, this table is for that person. So your brand, your infographics, your data, your information have to be more visible so people will be able to understand. Infograph communicates stories through text, art, and illustrations. When designed effectively, infographics should be predominantly designed for visual appeal and reader comprehension as they can. They can communicate multiple ideas and conclusion for the audience. Your infographics is very easy because it consists of designs and easy for people to see designs and understand that this is what this person is talking about. Why data visualization are the specific technical techniques used for representing data as visual information through plot, charts, or graphs. When designed effectively, data visualization helps to clarify information by giving an overview of the results from research or collected data. Although visual elements are used to illustrate trends, ensure your design is focused, especially on the data itself. Um, why, lastly, from the infograph, we have examples of infographics and examples of data visualization. We have the case studies for that for the infographic. We have case studies, we have web content, we have blogs. That's how we see case studies about creating and engaging visual um, to some to summarize your easy studies. So this is a way where you're able to summarize your details about what you do for people to see and to understand you better. Why in a world we have all of our social medias where we see people talking and having their app, Facebook, their internet, their website, whatever it takes to have a social media. When it comes to web content, you have to be creative when you're sending something for people to see. We have our blogs where we have our daily posts. Um, this is where you have public infographics on your blogs as a visual addition to your supporting text and content. For the data visualization, sorry, okay, we have the annual report, we have newsletter, we have ebooks, white paper. So most of these things, our newspaper, how they keep information for people to read and how they put even images to newspaper for people to see and understand, okay, this is what they are talking about. We see our online ebooks, we see how it's been aligned, how it's been put together, our logos, our text, our designs, our image, our backgrounds, our white background has been used properly. We see our annual reports, our companies, our agency, our hospitals, even our government workers, how they put their reports for people to see, okay, even though some people, even though they are not doing well, once they put their report together, they begin to see that, oh, these people are doing something. Even though they are doing something and they are not doing it well, once they give a report, we still have to believe in the report they are giving out because they have something to show us. That is how we keep information visual to people. Okay, I'll be showing us some image. Okay, this is an image. The basic principles of visualization design includes overview first, then zoom and filter, and detailed on demand. Nothing more about what you do. People just want to see it and how you do them. They just want to see clearly, okay, this is what you mean. The filtering about your products, you have to filter it properly. So nothing shake for nothing. You have to be more detailed so that more demand will come to your products. Yeah, look at this mobile, how it's been detailed about applications where you can install applications. Look at this website, it's talking about a football website, and it's been visual, has been detailed with the backgrounds and whatever they're selling. Okay, I actually have some little basics here too. Okay, we have this woman selling pop-off. We have a local girl selling pop-off. She sells pop-off and she's with her apron, with all her equipment in front of her, not even in front of her shop. She's just having a spot on the street. If you are maybe you're a corporate person and you're walking by the road and you saw something like this, the only thing that attracts you is you see the hot pop-off, you see the reddish or brownish pop-off, you see that it's being removed from the fire. It's been newly removed from the fire. Like this one is hot. As the hot, that's what they say. As the hot, come by. So you buy hot pop-off on the road because you see something that is hot, is fresh, and you can see that they are just making it. So it's easy for you to like, oh, this is nice. And for the seller too, he has a way of the way she put her content, the way she was being creative, the way she did her setup for people to see and be able to buy easily. They don't have to like, you're dirty, you're that. Because she looked presentable on herself. She has an apron, she has all her stuff ready, and how she brings in them the pop-up out for people to see that, oh, this is what I sell. Even she doesn't have to advertise it. You just have to see what she sells easily and you buy. That's on that. Okay, some common visual methods, which is a Suya Malam, who has a spot at one side. Most Suya guys now, they come out evening. If you notice in Lagos or in Nigeria, most Suya spots, they come out evening and they sell their Suya. And the way they sell the way they make their spot so easily for people to notice that, oh, this guy is a Suya spot seller. Yeah, the way they compose their meat, the way they compose the onion, the tomatoes, the cabbage, the cucumber, the
Hello, Peter, are you still with us?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm with you.
paper
Okay, I can
they
hear
used
you.
to wrap this. Yeah, after most people enjoy the way they sell it. In fact, the most important they make their smoke comes out. Yeah, they're okay. My internet went off.
It's all right. Are you with us
Yeah,
now?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Sorry. Okay, like I said, the Suya guy just make the spot so easily. So even you that you pass, you is it will be more easy for you to like, oh, Malam, Kausuya. You just say the price it was. Is either you say it in Hausa or but if you say it in Hausa, it's more understandable for the sellers to give you in a way that okay, you give you more quantity. So the chairman, they have the way they set their things and for buyers to come and get their things. So your viewing point very matters. The way you zoom it out for people to see, the way you filter your things, the way you detailed your products, and how you visualize your data for people to see and they will be able to buy. Okay, I was talking about the UI, the UX. Why should we care about these people? Because if you're a UI guy, you're a UX guy, you need to know how to get the proper details, the perfect details, the correct details. So once you send out your designs or you sell out whatever you are putting in plan, people see it and they understand it. Nothing more and no hard feelings. Just your work is good for you. Okay, UI interface design is the process designers use to build interface in software or computerized device. Focus on looks or style. Designers aim to create interface which users find easy to use and pleasurable. UI design prefer to graphical users interface and other form. Okay, the simpler as UX stand for user experience. We can become data visualization is for users to see and we want to create a nice experience that effectively delivers the insight to our audience. And if you can see the difference between the UI and the UX guy, we have the conceptual, we have the visual, you have the philosophical, we have the inspired, we have the physiological, we have the creative. So both are the same thing, but depends on how they just have their way of working out things for people to see that, oh, this is what this person is telling, this is the story this person is talking about. So in a nutshell, if you are trying to bring out your information for people for it to be visible, for people to see you, buy your stuff, enjoy what you do, and sell it out at all costs, you have to be visual to people. You have to get yourself inspired. You have to be creative. You have to be all of it takes to bring out yourself for people to buy you. Your information, your data, your work, your companies have to be specific too. Do all these things and you have no problem keeping your data because all of these things you do, you have a good data. If a suya man can have a good data about just putting the suya outside and the data says, okay, this guy is selling this guy is selling that, you will use newspaper to wrap it. It means there is a good data in a suya man who's selling at your street. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much for that presentation, Peter Filatei. I believe just like when the first speaker spoke, people have actually picked up a lot of things from the presentation. So we've come to the section of questions, and there are some questions here already in the chat section. I'm just going to read out. This one is from Michael Alex. So his first question is, what is the best career path of UI UX? So I think either of the speakers can go ahead to answer.
What is it? What?
I don't know where you mentioned.
What is the best career path of UI UX, the UI UX designer?
Okay, actually, I wouldn't say there's a best career because when it comes to if you're actually close to agencies or advertisement firm, let me just mention this name. There's a firm that we call Mccann, Nigeria Practitioner Agency for Advertisement. Mccann, that's the name. You can Google it, you see. Once you are sending an ad for them, for you to, okay, for them to work on. Maybe they want to advertise your product on the TV or on the radio or the newspaper. There are things that we don't use. There are some words that we don't use. You don't use the word the best. You don't use the best. You don't use the first. You don't use number one. There's a way you use those words. So if you're trying to use them, you don't just use them directly. If you want to become a US guy, like I said from the beginning, you just have to know that you are a creative person. You have to be creative while you're passing out your information for people. So, okay, let's say somebody who's creating a mobile app, maybe on a pharmacy, and they want a mobile app for the pharmacy, and they gave you the assignment, okay, yeah, they work on this, and the customers actually, the client actually want this. So what you do first is, you know how you put your layout together, your layout first, your first page. You work on your layout, work on your logo, how you place your logo in the first page, how you place it at the other pages. Do you want your logo to be at the other pages, or you just want it to be at the first page, at the last page? How do you want your text to be? You need to pick a text font. You need to work on your colors. So people, once they see those products, they understand that, oh, this is fun. So those are the things that make you the best things, to be the best UI and the US guy. And just your products speak for you, nothing more. It depends on how creative, how expressively you are, how effectively you are. That's when people will say that, oh, this person is the best. This person, people can use the best for you, but for you to use yourself as the best, they might not find it easily until you sell it out. Then people will tell you that, oh, this is best. So just keep your idea in a proper way that people understand. That makes you the best.
All right, thank you, Mr. Peter Obasa. Would you like to contribute? Hello, Mr. Peter Obasa. Would you like to contribute to that? Okay, let's go ahead with the other question. So it's from the same Michael Alex. He's asking, can a designer be better in UI than UX, or are they the same?
Can a designer be better in UI, UX, or are they the same?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah. When it comes to can it be better, now there's something we need to know about creating a niche. You get creating a niche can be from your own devotion to a particular aspect where you find your strength. Do you get? Then it could just be something inbuilt in you. So you have to first understand the tool. UI talks about the user interface, the look of how the things are when it comes to the information you are passing. So the UX is the experience. So it shows how you move from one place to the other, the art, the motion, the stuff that it has to be. So your creative power when it comes to graphics design, as I said earlier, understanding of the knowledge and the principles of graphic design to the core is what builds your interface. Then your experience is a very good advantage. Personally, like me, when I get to a site is just a site for just a normal, if it has to do with the site of someone into graphics or motion, stuff like that. Once I click, I don't just want to click on about us and I just see the spread, bam, of your company information details. Do you get? Or I click on your portfolios, like pictures, and everything just comes. So the experience is, if I click on portfolios for your pictures, it pops out and all those stuff. That is one thing that gets people attracted. So building a niche or being better for the UI is improving your graphics communication skills and building it, going through checking designs, going through checking informations. You have to understand the elements that makes a design exceptional. Do you get? And there are trends also. So you have to study the trend for the font. Like presently now, any versatile designer, any good designer should know there's a particular font almost all corporates, both local and national businesses use, which is Montserrat, and one of these other fonts that looks alike like that. So you have to understand those things as you improve. So you can improve on interface, but it's always good once it comes to UI UX, balancing the experience, because if we are clicking and we just find it beautiful, you will not push some people to want to relate with such interface as much as one who paid attention to the detail of giving it an experience. As I said, image and videos communication has a lot to do with the way we perceive the brand and the way it sticks to our head. So imagine I find a product design of a particular bottle or a package. If I click on it, if it just comes flat, like a label, it will be different from when I click on it, I find it probably floating with some other elements around it. Do you get? So you can be good in the user interface, but it's good if you want to get a major project that has to go in line with combining the two. Then it is either you have a partner that is good in UX or you find your way to balancing the two. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
In addition to that,
another question.
Sorry, in addition to that, okay, like I was actually talking about conceptual. Okay, a UX guy who just work on your ideas, who make your ideas work. Once you give a UI guy, a UX guy your idea, okay, you actually send the layout. Okay, this is it. This is what I want. But the UX guy will work on the ideas. Will say, oh, okay, this is what I'll be able to come up with. Then the UI guy will make your idea work. It's turn the idea to illustration. It will turn it to design. It will be more creative about it, and you have something for yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Another question from the same Michael. He's asking now, talking about data and visualization. Must a good designer be good in Power BI, or is it by?
I didn't get. Come again.
Talking about data and visualization. Must the designer be good in Power BI, or is it BI? I don't know. Power BI.
Power BI.
It's Power BI. Yes, Power BI. It's a Microsoft tool for data visualization and representation.
Okay.
So do you do that?
Yeah. I will say yes. Like we said, this is about you keeping your data. This is about showing what you sell. You are visualizing it for people to see, okay, this is what I was able to come up with. Everybody actually have the way of keeping their data. Like I said, you have to be decision making when it comes to you putting your data for people to know that, okay, this is how you do your things and this is the way your things goes. So whatever you are doing, whatever you do, you have to know that you have a good chart that is effective to that. Anything that just convey information as a designer, as a UI, UX guy, as a marketer, whatever you do, you just have to have a good and effective convey information for people to understand it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Peter. Jordan, Mr. Peter, would you like to add to that? You're muted. If you're trying to speak, so you're muted.
Yeah, what I would say on that, the Power BI, it helps users create custom dashboards from a variety of different data sources. So it depends on your niche as a UI UX designer. Do you get? Data, it's just like the use of Excel. Excel helps you create data used for complaints and stuff. So now this is a more advanced one. Do you get? In a way for complaints. So company that has to do with those that keeps data and information, then to be a tool very relevant for you. Do you get? So why now, as I said about creating niches, there's a way you can work if you are not good at that aspect. When you get the job, there's a way you share to whoever you know is capable. So, but if your jobs has to do with data, information, gathering data, and putting data together for complaints and announcing stuff like that together, then the Power BI tool will be something you have to delve into as good as possible in order for you to get. So it depends on your niche once it comes to the UI UX. So I think I don't know if it's the later question where it looks like the career that has to go in line with it. That also has to be put in place, because I cannot, if I'm a graphic designer, let's say graphic design has to do with their flyer creation, business card development, we have brochure design, so sometimes one person might not be the one doing all, because if you get the job at once, except you are given time. So if you know your niche, probably some people knows how to design logo, conceptualize logos, but when it comes to creating pages, they are not good at that, but they know how to conceptualize. Do you get? So that's what I feel that's what I believe this has to do with. So Power BI is an important tool for whoever wants to be gathering companies' data, reports, insights based on what has to do with companies. Do you get? So if that is your niche, and if that is the kind of customers as clients you get, you know your audience, then you know that is a very important tool. So that's just what I have to say.
All right, thank you. He's also asking, what is the biggest challenge you have faced as a designer? So Michael, you have to specify the speaker you're directing that question to, or is it the both of them?
Okay, let me just briefly give mine, then he can come in also.
All right.
Now, past years, one of the challenges I could place my hand on is getting information. Though the solution now, because we have a lot of people posting their works where you get to learn from, is finding someone to really give you details of the know-how when it comes to making, improving. We have a lot of graphic designers, we have a lot of people that do stuff, but when it comes to attracting clients with your jobs, your presentations, what you need to deliver to clients, because there's a way you can be good and all you do is you are appreciating what you do, but clients are not inspired enough to get from you, or whatever you are delivering to them is not what they are paying you is not what you are doing. Do you get? So getting people in that field was a very big challenge. Those to mentor you, those to tell you, okay, this is okay, but still this has to go well. Research. So that is one aspect. Then the technical aspect when it comes to creation is the use of the tool. The use of the tools. It's a different thing from having the idea of design, the art. There's another aspect of understanding, manipulating the different tools. Do you get? So I can know what to do. Let's imagine someone that is an artist that draws with pencil and paint. If it comes to the system, he's good in doing that. But when it comes to getting everything together, in creating what he has in his mind, is restricted. So by that, you need to find mentors, you need to find videos, you need to learn exactly what you need you need to pay detailed attention. So, and it's good once you find someone that can put you through, that's passed through that place. Then we can talk about financial challenges to get the good gadgets to give you a very good work at the speed, the pace you want, because you know all these systems has their ability once it comes to delivery, especially once it comes to graphics. But for now, that's all I can remember. So over to Mr. Mccann.
Okay. Actually, thank you. My challenge is, okay. I actually have after I thought I've actually known what it's called designing, be a graphic designer or be a UI or US guy. I got an interview that I actually went for, I think some years back. So I was given a room. Okay, this is an interview. Sit down and do a job. They will come back to you. So I actually have 30 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes to finish the job. I sat there for like 20 minutes. There was nothing. Nothing comes up. I know nothing to do. Even no design, no inspiration, no ideas. I was just like, what am I going to do? Then I began playing game. And suddenly after 5 minutes, I got the idea. That was about 20 something minutes I've gone. And the remaining 15 minutes that I got, I was just like, okay, I just need something. So I was able to catch up with things that I need. I know the tools that I wanted to make use. I know the sites that I need to visit to see inspirational designs. I actually know the icons that I need to just pick. I actually know the text I need to. So immediately I catch up with the idea. I just click up. Within 5 or 10 minutes, I was done with the design. I was able to. So the challenge was, what I'm trying to say is, in any challenge, when it comes to you trying to put a design together, or you're trying to visualize something for people, you have to know the idea first, get the idea, get the concept, and know the right tools that you are using. So whichever site you know you can quickly visit, know the site very well, be related to the site and know the idea. I'm actually related to Pixart and Flippic very well. So I'm used to them. So no challenges, no more, just for you to know what you're doing. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Some other questions coming up. What are the best tools for dashboard designs?
Dashboard, best tools. Okay. Like you said, that guy actually said one, which was the Microsoft Power BI. You can just be googling, so you see most of your tools that you want. You have the Tableau Public. You have the Good Data. You have your Data Box. You have Kumu. You have Vislo. You have your Visme. Sorry. You have your Picto charts. What else? You have Infograph. You have your Canva. So all these tools you can make use of them. I'll still send it to the chat box for you to see. So it's easy for you can make use of them even on your phone.
Okay, thank you. This one is coming from Malik. He's asking if your client give you too many content that they want in a flyer, and you know it is going to look rough on the design and might turn viewers off. What will you do as the designer? And then what will you do if a client refuses to change their mind?
Okay. The thing is, clients are actually being they are being demandful. They like to demand things and they have not seen. And they like to demand things that they see. It's just that not that they don't like what you do, but they will see another content and they will like, oh, this is what I want. And they will come again, they will tell you, oh, this is what I later want. Can you change this? Yeah, it's annoying, it's fine. But still, even despite being annoying, that thing still make you to be more creative. So what you do is either you do a sketch out of that thing if you have too much information or too much text. So you work with you either do a rough sketch out, or You manage your designs. Is it that if you want to make use of one image or you want to make use of the text, all make use of the text and one image to describe this is what you are telling. Maybe you are telling somebody who sells, who deals with properties. You don't have to pick all of the properties image, but there's a way you can pick one property image and just put all of the text in the dashboard. So it will work out. And if the client said, okay, this is what I want, the client only makes you to be more creative, because by the time you go back to your design, you see more of the mistakes that you've made and you correct them. And nothing more. You don't have to complain. All you do is very simple. If you can't do that, you need to get, that was I said, pick up an idea, quickly pick up an idea that you can work with. Get something that will inspire you, that will make you work easily. You will complain, it's fine, it's annoying, as like I said. They can get annoyed by doing their works, but pick up an idea that will make it work for you, that will make a better work for you. So even though when you are creating it, you don't have to complain to the client. What you do is get some sites that are design sites that you see inspirational designs. Look at their designs. You don't have to say, okay, because somebody have designed, so you want to pick out your own designs by yourself. Nobody is perfect. You need to pick out somebody's designs to work out for yourself. Many things can work for us, but it depends on how you are showing it for people to understand. Don't be too I too know. Don't be too perfect. Learn from other people to get yourself creative. Thank you.
Peter, would you like to contribute to that?
Yeah, what I would like to just say, as he has rightly said, it is very annoying, as in for me to be factual, when some clients come up with and they have this stubborn kind of attitude. But the truth is, that's where you come in as a professional. Two things I suggest. You first of all get their content, break it down to the simplest format, then do a design, then do their own with the voluminous content they gave. Do you get? So that's why as much as we do the creative part, thinking process, if a client wants to write a sentence, he wants to write a full sentence, you have to understand how you can break that English to just a word. Do you get? But when you look at it all through, you give them a sample of the words broken down in shorter form with a good design. Then you show them the one they have with content. But as I said, some clients are so demanding and can be very, when it comes to they just do. So such designs, once you find out that they are not allowing you express your professionality, do it for them. But this is what I personally do. I will not post that work as a work I did. Do you get? I won't post it. The ones I reduced, I will just add it. So because there's sometimes some very confidential stuff, they will not want you to just post it anyhow, or you cannot do the right thing and start posting the wrong one. So instead of posting it as a flyer post, I can make it in a mock-up form where people will not read the content, but I'll post that which I've broken down, then send theirs to them. So in order not to kill my own reputation with their own demand. So that's just it.
All right, thank you so much for those answers. Does any other person have any questions? Any more questions from the audience? I see Victor Ajibodu, your hand has been off. I don't know if you'd like to unmute and ask a question.
Hello. So can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Carry on.
Okay, so
Yes,
my
I can
question
hear you.
is okay, thank you. So my question is, as a UI UX designer, like, can you help us out, like, where can we go to get like things we need and stuff like that can make the work easier for us? I don't know if you understand my question.
Yeah, I understand.
Mr. Muted.
Yeah, I understand. You're talking about, okay, site that you can visit to get your. The thing is just that if you are working, we have a free pick here, we have a Canva. In fact, let me even say Canva is even best for us because it's easy for us to access with our phone. You can easily go to your phone and just type what you want. It will bring out what you want. Even the Google itself can help. Doesn't have to be too specific. But you can also see UX designers that have actually done past jobs and you see ideas. Like I said, get motivated, inspirational from people, and you get all of the things that you want. You have free pick, um, um, you have pixel, you have almost all of these things. You want your image, you want your icons. So there's a way you get it. Just Google it. You get what you want. No stress.
So,
All right, Mr. Peter, would you like to?
hello. Yeah, I want to share a particular. I want to share a particular link with us, so that I don't know. I'm trying to find my way around it. So through that link, that's the Genesis School of Design of Miss Bolanle Banwo. So I think they just did a post on resource then. I will also, so I'm posting the link to the chat. I hope that will be fine, right? Because I won't want to share screen.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so then I'll send the other one also. So it's easy for you to, it's a UI UX page. Let me check on Instagram, which I follow, and they have always been very creative.
Okay, while we wait for Mr. Peter to
Yeah,
any other
I
question?
I posted 2 links.
All right, yeah, we've seen the link
of Instagram, so you can get more from them. But if I find more, I'll just send it through Mccann. I can't remember most of them now. So
Thank
easy
you.
to just download stuff.
Any more questions from the audience? Any more questions from the audience? If no other question is coming, I would like to make a presentation now. So I'll be sharing my screen to do that. Give me a few seconds. Okay, is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, like I said at the beginning of this session, this UI UX meetup is anchored by Bincom Dev Center, and Bincom Dev Center is, sorry, just a moment. Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development and solutions platform. We have several locations. First of all, virtually near you, we have locations at Lagos State. We have at Ibadan, Kano, Kaduna, Ogun State, Delta, and we have plans to expand to various other locations. So if you want to find out a full list of our locations, visit blog.bincom.net/campuses. And we offer a number of services, like some of them are displayed on your screen. We have the Bincom Academy, the Bincom Tech internship, Bincom Tech apprenticeship, the Bincom community events and projects, and the light space. We also have the Bincom Global Tech Program, the Emigrate, the Bincom Mentoring Platform, and the Labs by Bincom. So let's get down to some of these services.
That's it, download.
Sorry, the previous slide, please. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, sorry, I'm
Please.
yeah,
Yeah, I said the previous slide. I like to just check
this.
something. No.
Is it this one?
No, the next. Okay, sorry, the one before it. Let me see. Okay, there's the next one. The next one.
This is the first. This is actually the first slide. This is just from the beginning.
Yeah,
so this is the first one.
The next one. Okay, this I just wanted to check through. Okay, all right, fine.
All right, so getting down to some of these services. The first one we'll have there is the Bincom Academy, which is an intensive training program facilitated by Bincom Dev Center. Each technology or application development class is typically 4 weeks of intensive training, during which participants will go through the training curriculum for the knowledge track they have chosen in a Montessori approach. So we have a couple of classes available, as you can see there on your screen. We have Python, mobile app, PHP, foundation, graphics design, project management, and so on. And visit bincom.net/academy. You can also apply for any of these classes there as well. Next, we have the Lightspace, which provides helpful work collaboration and drive innovations in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces for various events like seminars, conferences, and get-together. And we have this across our locations. First of all, virtually near you, Yaba, Lagos State. We have at Oyo State, Kano State, Kaduna, Ogun State, and Delta State. And to find the full list of locations, visit blog.bincom.net/campuses. We have the community events, the Bincom community events and projects, which are geared at giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. They focus on informing and exposing the youth to the current technology trends and how to prepare for the future in tech. So basically, these events are divided into 5. We have the masterclass, we have the meetups. This is an example of the meetups, the UI UX. We have the idea sharing. We have explore on the move, challenge and brainstorm sessions. Some of our other initiatives include the Bincom Tech Network and the Bincom Tech Club. So the Bincom Tech Network is on a platform where we have different channels for our academic classes. So collaboration between participants and facilitators will take place in a particular channel, dedicated channel for that particular class. All right, moving on. We have the meetups, which are under the community events and projects. We have the PHP meetup, cloud hosting meetup, Angular meetup, digital marketing meetup, and the rest. For our master classes, we have the Bincom Startup School, the Social Lender Digital Financial Services, and the EdTech series. And under idea sharing series, we have every last Saturday of every month, and we have the Emigrate Open Day. So the next service that we offer is the Bincom Global Tech Program, which is a solution to launch your career tech globally. This program is focused on 3 key pillars. First is to learn skills, second to gain experience, and then to gain exposure. So if you're looking to acquire a skill or 2 in technology and you don't know how to go about it, this is a program that you can enroll for. And then we have the income sharing agreement, which allows participants to learn tech now and pay later. So you don't have to worry about paying upfront before the program starts. So I'm about to play a video that explains the income sharing agreement better. I hope you all listen and get the information.
What are the things you need for this program? All you need is your laptop device, a hunger and a passion for IT. Those are the core tools that you need. The total cost of the Bincom Global Tech Program for the period of 1 to 2 years is just 1.2 million naira. But you don't need to worry about that because it gets better. We have various financing options to help you cover the cost of the program. So you don't need to have any money to even apply or be admitted to the program. One of the financing options that are available for this program is the income sharing agreement. What that simply means is that the company will sponsor your learning. So you will learn for the period of 1 to 2 years, and you only start paying back when you get a job and you start earning your income after this program. This means that aside from skills, experience and exposure, the company is also willing to invest its own money on you. That's a total package. What are you waiting for? You need to go on our website, bincom.net/global tech. You need to register and then launch your global tech career. I'm sure that the tech world, the tech industry is waiting for a great talent like you. Thank you.
Okay, moving on.
What are the things you need for this program? All you need is your laptop.
Next is the Emigrates program, which is pronounced Emigrates with an it. It provides tech-enabled visa opportunities for people in tech, either the technical side or the business side of tech. And it gives opportunities to live and work in countries like the UK, USA, Canada, and France. So these are some of the things that the Emigrate services cover: general inquiry, coaching and hand-holding, and the rest of the other things you can see there on your screen. And the Emigrate services are divided into two. We have the free and we have the premium packages. If you're interested in any of this, what you need to do first is indicate interest at bincom.net/emigrate. Then the next thing you have to do is to request for Emigrate services at blog.bincom.net/emigrate pricing. We have the Emigrate Open Day, which holds typically 2 Wednesdays in a month, and you're all invited to the next Emigrate Open Day. We also have video recordings of past editions. If you're interested and you'd like to join, you can visit bincom.net/emigrate open day to book a spot. Next is the Labs by Bincom, which is a platform that enables you to work with a team and build a startup from scratch. So if you'd like to be part of this, if you want to join the next cohort of Labs by Bincom, visit bincom.net/labs to get started. So we also have this program, the Bincom Dev Center Ambassador Campaign, which is in partnership with MyCircle. It brings the ability for people in tech to earn from their network and positive social influence. You get to earn 10% from Bincom Dev Center for any of its services which you refer. For instance, if you refer someone to the Bincom Global Tech Program and the person makes a payment, automatically you've earned yourself 120,000 naira, which is 10% of the actual payment of the Bincom Global Tech Program. All right, so if you want to reach out to us, you can contact us, send us a mail at bincomdevcenter@bincom.net. You can call the number that is displayed on your screen, or you can visit our website, www.bincomdevcenter.com. And at this point, I will take feedback and questions based on this presentation, if there is any from the audience.
Can you hear me, please?
I can hear you, Michael.
Can you please hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, boy, we can't see.
Okay, I'd like to. Okay, I'd like to ask. The program of having to. Okay. Let's.
Michael.
Program that has.
I can't hear you clearly. Your network seems to be poor. I can't hear you clearly. I can't make out what you're saying. Sorry, Michael, I can't hear you clearly. But you can make an inquiry. You can send a mail to bincomdevcenter@bincom.net. You'll be attended to as soon as possible. Thank you. So if there are no other feedback or questions from the audience, at this point, I would like to give a vote of thanks to our speakers, Mr. Peter Obasa and Mr. Peter Filatei. I want to thank you especially for making our time on a weekend like this to be with us and for sharing insights and knowledge on information visualization, science, or an art. I believe everyone that attended this session has grabbed a thing or two and will definitely not leave the same way we attended. Thank you very much for being with us today. At this point, this session has come to a close, and I bid you all farewell and enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.